Hello, welcome to Shibden Hall. Today I'm looking at the old water system that fed the hall and the grounds. Behind me you can see what should be a cascade of water. Originally called the Cascade and Wilderness Gardens. As you can see behind me, the whole scene was commissioned by Anne Lister to replicate the Highlands. Anne Lister, as you may be aware, was certainly a character in the Victorian age, and she commissioned a great deal of work here in Shibden Hall. The original source of water was up there somewhere, a spring supply. You can see a well that was designed by the Victorians. The house originally was built in the 15th century. That's during the reign of Henry VIII and Elizabeth I. Now, in those days the water would have been carried from the well behind me using shoulder yokes. The water being carried, of course, by the servants and brought to the star of the show, Shibden Hall, in all its glory on this beautiful sunny day. The Norman bits, the turrets, were designed by Anne Lister to replicate a Norman castle. How bizarre. Now, the house these days is more of a display house, and a lot of the original fixtures and fittings were either removed or in different places. But there are still some leftovers of the original water system. So let's have a look inside at the museum and bits of the house. See you inside. Well, we're inside Shibden Hall. We're in the aisled barn and the museum. So let's take a stroll through one of the courtyards. Very bright sunny day, and we're looking for things watery. If you remember, I mentioned that the water would be carried by servants, and here is one of the original shoulder yokes. Oops. You pop it over your shoulder like this. Of course, buckets would hang from either end. There you go. Not a bad job on a day like today, but on a cold, wintry day, it could be pretty grim and hard work. I've got to show you this. 1725, the oldest carriage in the world, and it's nestling amongst several other carriages. You can see the old trunks on the floor there. If you've never been to Shibden Hall, it's wonderful. I love it. Okay, looking for things watery. Now, this is intriguing. This was the original water well. As you can see, the cobbled surface, all direct water to the centre drain there, and then underneath the concrete bit there was the what would be a water system, very similar in design to one that you might find in Venice in Italy. This was an old courtyard. As I mentioned earlier, some of the original fixtures and fittings have been moved around. Behind me there you can see on its side a brown ceramic, it's called slipware, which would have been used inside the hall. And what I find quite fascinating is this trough here. This trough was used to soak willow. Oops, let's get a good shot. The willow, once soaked, would have been made into fences and perhaps baskets. So, as I say, many fascinating things here inside Shibden Hall, and an old bar. Originally, the very wealthy would drink small beer. So, I suppose a pub's quite watery. Anyway, that's it. A quick tour of Shibden Hall. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.